Hey everyone, Michael here bringing you a brand new video. Is your materialism killing your future wealth? Here we're going to talk today. As you can see, I have a whiteboard here to help me kind of represent this topic. But is your materialism and things that go down in value killing your future wealth? What we're going to do is we're going to look at something called opportunity cost. That is something that is usually forgotten when making purchases on things that lose their value. So I'm not talking about assets. I'm not talking about a house or anything that can hold some value, but we'll be talking more around things like phones, cars, and hobbies. So things that necessarily don't have value forever. Basically, when you buy them, it's going to be the max price that thing will ever be worth. And then by the time that you've used it or it's lost its value or lost its use, it will not really be worth anything in the future. So we're going to be talking about depreciating liabilities, and then we're going to be looking at the opportunity cost. If you were to take the money that you spent on your liabilities, like your phone, car, hobbies, and you invested it, say in stocks or an investment account, the real estate market, or something that usually appreciates in value over time. So we're going to look at the opportunity cost. Now this video is going to really be geared more towards people that are just graduating college or the younger crowd, so 20 to 30 years old. Okay, this is the concepts that we're going to be outlining, is the opportunity costs that come with each. So remember in the earlier video that I recorded about stocks, and usually the general rate of return of the S&P 500 is around 6%. So 6% is kind of our benchmark growth that we're going to use if we were to take a certain amount of money that would be invested into stocks. So we got right here, we have a phone. Nowadays, as you guys know, phones are not cheap. Phones come at about $1,000 a pop. So we're just going to put a general benchmark number of $1,000 for the cost of a new phone. So you graduate college, you're like, I want the new iPhone, or I want the new Android, or whatever. It's going to cost you $1,000, right? Car, everybody tells you when you graduate college, you get a brand new car. Okay, so we've got a car, and we're just going to assume you even pay cash for it. You don't even have a loan. Let's say that car cost $20,000. Okay, nice brand new car, nothing too fancy, but something that's, going to be reliable and get you around. Hobbies, it could be anything. Like I myself, I love aquariums. I have a 125-gallon aquarium. I have guitars. My wife, she has her things. There's all these things that we have that don't necessarily hold any value other to us than the fun that they provide, right? So for this, let's just say for hobbies, we'll just say you spend $4,000 on initial investments on your hobbies. So we have a total of $25,000 here when you graduate college, whether you have that leftover money, you saved it during college, but for this example, we're just going to assume that you have this much cash, and let's just say you're roughly around 20 to 22 years old, okay? So most people, when they buy these, they think that that car costs $20,000, that phone costs $1,000, and that their hobbies cost them $4,000. But what we're going to look at is something called opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is defined really as the cost that you are losing money by not doing something else with it. I know it's kind of a very general definition, but the opportunity, you're losing out on the opportunity, and what is the cost of losing that on an opportunity? The opportunity we're talking about here is investing this $25,000 in something like an asset, something that grows. So we're going to assume instead you take this $1,000, $20,000, and $4,000, and you're going to put that into a stock market account and invest in the S&P 500. So on average, remember we talked about the S&P grows at about 6% per year. So the way that graph is going to look as you get older and older and older is something generally like that. Now, it's going to do some ups and downs as the markets. We have bear markets and things throughout your life. But in general, it's going to go up, okay? So we'll just assume that your account now, at the end, is worth 10 times that it was before. One easy calculation you guys can do is what's called the rule of 72. The rule of 72 is basically saying the interest rate at what your investment grows, how long does it take for it to double? And the rule of 72 is you take the number 72 divided by the interest rate, which in this case is 6%. So if I take 72 divided by 6, it's going to be roughly 12 years for my investment to double in value. So that's how this goes, and that's why it's more of an exponential line and not linear, is that as investment gets bigger and bigger, that interest keeps growing and growing. Basically for the amount that you have, it's 6%, so it's going to be 6% of more and more and more, gets bigger and bigger, right? So at the end of the day, you invested that $25,000 when you retire, basically, you have $250,000. So the opportunity cost of not investing the money in the stock market and buying things that don't hold any value in the future is going to be that $250,000 minus $25,000, or $225,000. So if we were to actually purchase these right here instead of investing the money in the stock market, the graph is going to actually look something like this. This is the cost of those items. It is going to basically mirror in reverse the investment line. So how many of you thought when you were buying a new phone, a new car, or hobbies, and investing money in hobbies, that you were actually spending $250,000? I didn't. I definitely didn't think about that when I first graduated college. But the interesting thing, the way to look about this, is that time goes on, things become less expensive because there's less time, which means there's less opportunity cost associated with buying, materialistic things. So the whole concept of this video, and why I really wanted to share this, is not telling you not to buy these things. It's just to have more of an awareness around the true cost of buying things that don't have value, like buying things that are not assets, buying liabilities, things that lose their value over time. As you can see, there's a huge steep decline in the cost as you get older and older and older and older, going more true to the number. Now, this doesn't account for inflation. This is a very simple model. But what this is truly doing is showing that, yeah, when you buy it when you're really young, it's going to cost you that much more because you have that much more time for your money to grow. So I want to share this video, guys. High materialism can really cost you in the long run, especially when you're younger. It's great to save it more for when you are older, as it doesn't have as high of a cost. Grow your investments early on, and you'll have that money in the future. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys, and I will see you in the next video.